Steve, are you going to be okay without your coffee?
No, I got to have my iced coffee. Oh,
I
man.
That iced coffee is awesome. I bought that stuff. Hey, Carlos, grab me a bottle of that iced coffee. I bought some iced coffee. So, Steve, last week, if you guys were watching, Steve came down to my office out here in Chandler. And before he left, he's always given me jerky and all sorts of goodies when I go out. And thanks, Carlos. And before he left, I said, I've got something for you. And so I gave him a bottle of this Lucky Jack Nitro Cold Brew Coffee. Now, it doesn't compete with the zombie coffee from David Pengali, but this is cold brew. So David's got the grounds for hot coffee. This is cold brew coffee. This stuff is good, and it is very, very potent, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, yeah. Susan just peeled me off the ceiling a minute ago. Yeah.
It's got a lot of kick to it. So if you're looking for a good cold brew, we've got the Lucky Jack Nitro Cold Brew Coffee, Triple Black. Go check that out at Costco. Guys, we're excited to be back with you. We had some technical difficulties last week. I think we worked it out. I think we figured out what the issue was. We were a little bit late going here today for multiple reasons, but one of them is we wanted to make sure that we weren't going to run into those audio-video sync issues because that's fun for no one. And let's be quite honest, no one's here to see me. Everyone's here to see Steve and hear what he has to say because, like I said, anything I have to say is just because I've learned it from Steve. So we're back. And we're excited. This is a special edition of the Ask Steve program. And the first thing that I want to talk about is what's coming up next, and that is Bishop Mule Days, Steve. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what we can expect coming up here with Bishop Mule Days?
Well, and I tell you, Dave, it's exciting. I have got clients coming from Australia to come over to go to Bishop Mule Days. They've been thinking about it, and finally David said, you know what, hey, Steve's going to be there. I want to come. So they made arrangements, and they're coming there. I'm going to be doing the Cowboy Church there Sunday morning, and that's going to be a tremendous blessing. I'm going to be talking about what total forgiveness looks like, how it looks. And I'm going to be there. I'm going to be staying with a good friend of mine, Bobby Tanner. Now, if you folks know anything at all about Bishop, you know Bobby Tanner. The Tanner family has been packing that Sierras for years. I'm going to venture to say 70, 80 years. But Bobby is famous for one main thing, and that is the 20 mule team. He's going to have it there. I'm going to be staying at his place, helping him out whenever he needs the help. He said, hey, Steve, why don't you come on over here and stay with me on my place? So my wife and I are taking my 40-foot toy hauler and we're moving it in. I'm going to have Jess, my puppy, there. He's going to have fun. And we're going to have a ball. Now, here's the ticket, Dave. I'm going to have almost 300 of my cards with me. And everybody who comes and looks for me, now I'm going to be changing hats all the time, so it's going to be kind of difficult to find out who I'm going to be that day, you know. So I want you to be sure to be looking, because it ain't going to be this hat. It may be another one. So now I'm going to also be with my very good friend from Mountain Gear, Eric. And I'm going to be there at times, but catch me and say, hey, Steve, you got a card for me, and I'm going to hand you one of my pocket knives. So pocket knife's going to be there. It's going to be pretty awesome.
That's going to be great. I know just getting out and spending time, you know, we were talking about afterwards after one of your last clinics, and I know that you enjoy being there and having a booth so people can come and try Tack, and you get to meet a whole lot of folks. But one of the things you said you were excited about with Bishop is just being able to be out and about and get to see people and not feel like you're always connected to a booth, right?
Right.
Able to get out there and talk. And we've already got people here watching today. David Scholl says, leaving Australia today for Bishop.
Yep. Good to meet you, Dave. Hey,
That's
we're
awesome.
going to shoot pictures of Dave, my arm around Dave, and my arm around his wife, and we're going to see pictures of Dave. We're going to have fun. Oh, it's going to be a hoot.
It's going to be a lot of fun. Yolanda's watching. Hey, Steve. Yes, Yolanda here again.
Yes, Netherlands. Now, we actually talked. She's ordering a pack saddle, you know.
Good for her.
One of my adjustable pack saddles, and so I'm making arrangements right now so Yolanda will get her pack saddle. And she said she talked to several people who said, oh, yeah, it's going to fit, it's going to fit. And she said, you know, they just didn't give me the right answers to say it was going to fit. So we're going to fix Yolanda up and Netherlands. Now, one of these days, Dave, we're going to head to the Netherlands. Yeah.
I know, right? We've got to have a clinic out there in the Netherlands. Yolanda said that it's a big equine thing. There's not as many mule and donkey folks, but the thing is she's the one. She mentioned you in that article that she was a part of. She's the one who's going to get it started in the Netherlands, and then a year from now, 2 years from now, we're going to be talking. We're going to be saying, do you remember back when?
Yep. Yolanda's going to get mules and donkeys moving and grooving there in Netherlands. Yep, it's
that's
going to be
awesome. Tracy Foley is watching from Lake Como, Pennsylvania.
Yep, Tracy. Right.
Let's see. Oh, Yolanda wanted to know, Dave, did Steve say hello to you from me? I don't think I've gotten that yet. Steve, you want to give me the hello from Yolanda?
Hello from Yolanda. Yes, sirree.
That's fantastic.
That's cool with her on the phone, you know.
That's fantastic. Josephine Earp is watching. Says, hi, Steve.
Hey, Josephine. Now that gal, she likes riding mules. And her husband, he's a great guy. He's the best broke husband I've ever seen.
That one flowed nice and smoothly off the tongue. That was great.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. Well, hey, so since you've got Bishop Mule Days coming up, since you've got a couple more clinics coming up, you're going to be traveling to the upper or the other 2 states. We've got the lower 48, and you've got the other 2 states. What are those other 2 states, and what are you going to be doing?
I'm actually going to go to Hawaii. Yep. Even though things are blowing up over there, I'm going to go to Kauai and Molokai, which are the smaller islands down below. One of my apprentices, Matthew Goddard, is in Kauai, and he has my mule Tumbleweed. He come over here and he took my 30-day mule trainers program, and then he went back to Hawaii and started training. He said, Steve, I need a mule. I said, I'll sell you TW. He come back over here, spent about a month with me, flew TW over to Kauai. He sent me pictures of TW. He's holding a surfboard, and he's got TW under a great big umbrella. Anyway, we're going to go there, and we're going to do some little mini clinics with some people, and I'm going to ride my ex-mule there, Tumbleweed, and then we're going to go to Molokai. We're going to fly from Kauai to Molokai, to the Molokai Mule Company. And I wait till you see the videos I'm going to do from there, Dave. It's going to be fun because we're going to take this mule ride down to an old leopard colony. And guess what? 15 some odd years ago, I did an expert witnessing case. I do a lot of expert witnessing for mule wrecks and this sort of thing. And I did an expert witness for them, and we won the case. This is for his dad, Eldon. And now here 15 years later, his son, Eldon, has been buying my saddles. He said, Steve, I can't believe the difference in the attitude of my mules riding in your saddles. So we're going to shoot pictures. You're going to see actual footage of me riding down, my wife riding down, and you're going to hear them talk about their ride. It's going to be awesome. We're going to have fun.
That's going to be great. And, I want to bring up and let folks know that that's something that I think we're going to do a little bit more of this summer. Between you traveling, between the summer and other folks traveling, what we're going to do is we're actually going to be wrapping up season 1 of Ask Steve today. So this is going to be our last live stream until sometime during the fall. But that, I know, right? It's been so much fun. And folks, you get messages from folks all the time wondering if we're doing it the next day, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I just had several messages today. When are you going to do it again? So anyway, we're going to have we'll go at it a different way.
Yep. We're going to, and that's the thing. We've got a lot of content. So there's a couple things that have been happening. This program that we've been running, this Ask Steve program, has been one of the most transformational programs on the internet as it relates to mules and donkeys. And how do we know that? Well, one, it's gotten in front of thousands of people, okay? And we have made more new friends in the last several months doing this program than I ever recall making in the same period of time any period before that. Now, that's not to say that it hasn't happened, but what I am saying is that we have reached so many new folks and we have answered so many questions that what has happened, Steve, and I'm doing this in the background. I don't know if you know that this is going on, but I am continuing to get all sorts of questions come through from folks. But instead of having to bring them here to the Ask Steve program, we've already got those questions answered out on YouTube. So we're sending people to YouTube like never before. And the YouTube channel has just increased and grown, and the subscribers have just grown. And so what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking a break to go from asking questions the way we've been doing it right here and providing videos like this to actually producing some video content that shows people, not just listening to the questions like we're answering it here, but actually shows people. And so we've got a lot of footage that we're going to be putting out on YouTube over the next several months. And during that time, Steve, I know we're going to get an influx of questions. I know we're going to get a whole bunch of new people following and watching, and we're going to collect all of those questions. And sometime this fall, we'll do season 2 of Ask Steve, and we'll put together a string of weeks like we have so far this year, and we'll answer those questions, and we'll try to put some new things in there. So I think folks might be a little bit sad when they hear us say that this is the last episode of season 1, but knowing that we're going to do some great stuff for season 2, I think folks have a lot to be excited about. You know what I mean? Yeah,
Dave, it's going to be fun. I can't wait to shoot some footage. Now, Susan and I are not traveling like we usually do, where I've got a 40-foot toy hauler on my 1-ton truck and coast-to-coast, border-to-border. We're actually, when we go to Kauai, we're actually going to, our main focus here is we're celebrating our 50th anniversary.
How about
50
that?
years.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, I'm a well-broke husband, you know. So.
Just slip that right in there.
Right in there. So here's what I'm going to do. From the 30th of September until the 14th of June.
Hold on. Time travel is still a little bit difficult yet, Steve. The 30th of September to the 14th of June.
Oh, wait a minute. Yeah. Okay.
We're working on time travel. We're working on it, but it's not quite there yet. So how about we do May?
Yeah, okay. May. Okay, May the 30th. There we go. I'm going to be coming back from Bishop. I'll be back from Bishop about that time. I'll spend a couple days with some friends of mine in California, and then we're going to fly to Hawaii. We'll arrive in Hawaii on May the 30th. We will not be returning to the States until June the 14th.
You're going to have it real tough there.
Yeah, boy, we're going to do the best we can celebrating our 50 years. But to help everybody celebrate and to realize that we cannot ship out anything during that 14 days. It's just Susan and I. It ain't like we got a whole bunch of employees. My only employee is my dog, Jess, you know.
And a darn good one at that.
A good one. Matter of fact, I'm actually his employee, if you get down to it. He just pretty much, anyway, so he's a great boy. So during that time frame, all the orders that come in, we'll take the orders, but we will not ship until that week of the 16th. Mm-hmm. But here's what I'm going to do. Everybody that orders anything at all, you will get free shipping. Free shipping.
That's awesome.
Oh, I'm going to tell you what. If you want to get a saddle and you're on the East Coast, it costs almost $90 in shipping. Yeah. So, plus that, Dave, I'm going to throw in a couple of my cards.
There you go.
I'm going to throw in a card, you know. So
great stocking stuffers. Get a little bit. That's what people could do.
Ooh.
They could start getting all of their stocking stuffers and their Christmas gifts purchased. So just to recap, I want to make sure I heard this correct, and I want to make sure that folks watching that heard this. So this is the final episode of season 1 of Ask Steve. To wrap up, before Steve goes on to Bishop Mule Days, before Steve travels to Hawaii, before Steve's 50th wedding anniversary comes up, to sum up, what we're going to do is between May 30th and May 15th is what you said?
June 14th.
June 14th. time travel's not happening yet.
Yeah.
May 30th, between May 30th and June 14th, any purchases that are made on the website muleranch.com for the lower 48 states, we're going to do free shipping. For international, how about they give you a call? If somebody's wanting to do something international, see what they can do. And then Hawaii and Alaska, we'll see if we can do something. But I know for the lower 48, we'll be doing free shipping between May 30th and June 14th. Is that correct?
You got it. You got it. And then, of course, with every order, I'm going to send one of my cards.
Awesome.
And yeah, those cards are fun.
That is a business card that is going to last for a lifetime.
Yes.
Absolutely. And I've got a stack of business cards right here. It sure beats these guys right here.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome. Well, hey, we've got folks tuning in. We've got let's see here. D Scholl is watching. Hi, Steve and Dave. Hi, D.
D.
We've got Dyke W. Fuller. Hello there. How you doing?
Yes.
Good to see you.
There we are.
We've got let's see, Vicky Wooten. Hi, all. Hello, Vicky. Good to have you here. We've got Michelle Spears, Eric Palmer, Steve.
Eric.
As you may have seen, I am dealing with a mule bit by green Mojave mule bite by a green Mojave snake Saturday. Saturday and Sunday, face swelled up. Monday, she was down with a loss of control of legs. Any experience with Mojave bites and neurotoxin effects? Oh my goodness!
Oh, Dave. I mean, this is
serious stuff.
Mojave. There is no antivenom for a Mojave. There's not. It's unfortunate. Now, blacktail rattler and this sort of thing. Matter of fact, a rancher friend of mine today, Randy Figgins, he's had a rattler get in with his dogs 2 years ago, and bit every single dog, 5 dogs. And he gives them dogs an antivenom. But what to do with the Mojave? Golly, I don't know of anything at all. But I tell you what I do know is I've got, did you know that the antivenoms, actually they actually use blood from horses, from equine, to make the antivenom? Yeah, I found that out. But anyway, gosh, Eric, I really feel tough for you, buddy. But I'm happy for Eric another way. You ought to see the new stock-and-legged baby that he's got.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, is it gorgeous! But I would like some updates on this mule. What's the vet said? Are they telling you to use Banamine?
Let's see here. Ruben Rodriguez says that's my worst nightmare. Absolutely, Ruben. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, folks, this is what I do when a horse gets hit in the face, and a cow if we can get them roped down. But here's the tough thing. Soon as you find it, get them to where you can you take the end of some syringes, or you take some garden hose, and you lube the heck out of it with Vaseline, shove it up their nose as fast as you can go. Because here's the big problem with that. I have yet to lose a dog or yet to lose a horse because of a rattler bite. They usually always get sick and they swell up, but they usually live out of it just fine. But of course, now we're talking your blacktail rattlers, okay? But a Mojave, is Eric sure that's a Mojave? Because we don't have many Mojaves up in this part of the country. Now, go down south, and their Mojaves are thick, but to have a Mojave up here, they're very green, they're very aggressive.
I'm looking online right now. I'm looking on Eric's Facebook page, and I've found some pictures of this baby mule here.
Isn't that wow?
I'm trying to see if I can find any more information. Eric did say Banamine Dex.
Okay,
penicillin.
He did. Yeah.
Did the hoses in the nose right away. Since Monday,
Good.
I'm rolling her over every few hours. She is eating and drinking.
Well, eating and drinking is a good deal because that keeps it going. Did the vet talk about slinging the mule? In other words, you take and put a big canvas underneath them with ropes, and you have it stand up with a sling.
Let's see here. I'm looking because I did see something on his Facebook page, and he's got a lot of pictures and videos of this new one here.
Baby.
I did not see a snake. Did not see the snake, but Doc Little is confident it's Mojave.
Really? Well, I've never run into Mojave myself. I've had people talk about them. I just killed a coontail rattler last week, and I used it to teach my dog to get away. I use a remote control that vibrates, and I put that dead coon rattler down and had him go over to investigate it, and I hit him with a pretty heavy vibrate. Now he don't want nothing to do with it. And then I also found on the internet a rat. I mean, he looks just vicious, and he's buzzing. And I put it down a few places on my computer, and when Jess went over to see what the noise was, I bopped him with it. And now when he hears that noise, he runs to me.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's folks, if they buzz, then the dog's going to run off. But the dog has to learn the smell. It's not just the buzz itself, and that's the downside. One of these darn old rattlers can hit you and not buzz, and so you just got to be aware of it. But dang, I'm sorry.
So I found the post here. Let me see. Do you have your phone right there, Steve?
I don't. It's outside here.
Okay, go ahead, grab it. I'm gonna put this up on the screen here. Eric just sent it. He says, let me zoom back out. He says, poor Abby was bit by a rattlesnake. Let's see. I'm gonna send a screenshot here to Steve real quick. You guys can see the post right there. I'm gonna get this screenshot to Steve so he can see what we're seeing. Right here, Steve. I'm sending you the picture that folks on the stream right now can see. Poor Abby was bit by a rattlesnake. Have treated her with Banamine and Dex. Inserted non-collapsible hose in each nostril to allow her to breathe while she recovers. The swelling will close off the airway, and Equine cannot breathe through their mouth. These hoses are a very important part of her recovery, and I'm working on getting them taped in, so they will stay, and we'll post more. Thanks for the support and prayers.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's really swelled up. I haven't had one of my personal equine get zapped, but my neighbor did, and we did the hose and up his nose, and we did the Banamine, and that done a bunch. Golly, it's hard. That's a nice mule too. I hate to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've got on Eric's page. Which, folks, if you're not connected with Eric, make sure you connect with Eric. I got a great photo here that he made Let's move that one, and let me put this new one. I just sent you a photo that he made his profile image there, Steve.
Okay. Oh yeah, I seen that one. Ain't that something?
How awesome is that?
Oh, that mare of his turns out some beautiful stock and legged mules. I mean, awesome. Oh, I wished I was wanting to own a mule again. I'd own that one right there just for good looks, But
what's stocked legged mean?
Yeah, that means the white on the legs itself. Yep. When it goes up to the knee, that's stockings.
Got it.
When it's below the knee, it's socks.
Got it.
Oh, what a gorgeous little mule. Oh, I think that's like his third one that's been, stock and legged, or sock legged. And man, hey, Eric just had a clinic over here in Queen Creek. Went over really good.
Yeah.
Really good. I'm glad he was able to get in there and do good with that. Eric's a good mule trainer. Now this winter, we're going to be doing some clinics there at Eric's. Driving clinic probably, and riding clinic, I don't know, whatever we can put together. So this winter, folks, it'll be the place to go. Now Eric also has RV spots and this sort of thing for this winter. So if people want to come and stay in Arizona this winter, Eric could be the one to get a hold of.
Are we going to need to get that up on our website, or does Eric have a link?
Well, Eric has. We definitely need to get it up on the website. Eric and I have talked about the first week of December. would be one of them. Is what we're looking at. Oh, by the way, I just had the Equine Affair contact me about doing a clinic in Massachusetts. I haven't been there in about 3, maybe 4 years. So I guess the mule and donkey people have been speaking up and saying, hey, we want Steve there. So I'm going to look at my calendar and see if that works out. I think it's in November, around the 18th, something like that. But the Equine Fair in Massachusetts, it's in November, I think it is.
That'd be great.
Yeah, I think I've got that information here someplace. But anyway, we'll have it up on the website. So if anybody have any questions or anything, we've been rattling away here.
We're just chatting about. We do have a couple that came through. Hey, yep, there you go. If you haven't gotten it yet, Lucky Jack, Nitro Cold Brew Coffee, Triple Black.
Woo! Woo. I mean, this stuff, it lights you up. Woo!
It'll light you up big time.
Yeah.
Haley Williams says hello. Hello, Haley.
Hey.
Glad to have you here.
Absolutely.
Let's see right here. Yolanda Poland. Guess what? Today I visited one who has a John Mule from 1.5 years old and recent gelded. I told her about Steve. If she wants to know all about mules, guess what? She don't care, and she treats that mule like a horse. He is raised by young colts younger than he is, and he is completely non-interested in people. He only cares for himself, breaking true gates, fences, etc., etc., etc.
Golly. Boy, you just hate it when I get pretty upset when I hear stuff like that.
That's why we keep doing what we're doing, right?
Yeah, it gives mules a bad, everybody says, you wouldn't believe it. When I was in Minnesota, I hear the same things over and over again, and I don't mind answering the same questions, but people say, oh, them mules are stubborn. No, they're not. They'll wait all their life to kick you. No, they won't. The thing is when you treat them right, they'll do you right.
Exactly.
Period. Max Johnson, he used to be the head packer at the Grand Canyon. Mm-hmm. Great guy. He'd say, you know what, Steve, if a mule would give his life for you if you just treat him decent, mm-hmm. And mules are awesome. Golly.
It's funny, we keep repeating ourselves over and over and over, and I have we take all the videos that we've done here with Steve. So if this is your first time watching with us, or if you've only been in a couple times, we take all of the videos that we do on these live streams, we edit them down, we put them up on YouTube, and we make it so folks can just grab them and get exactly what they need. And and so I've been working with Steve for a better part of a decade now. And and I have my own business, so Shrine Media is my business. That's not what we're here for, but I do have some people who work for me. And Steve, I've got a young girl. She's 21 years old, and she's been helping me edit videos. And she says, and doing some social media too. And she says, I feel like I'm just putting the same videos out there over and over, and I feel like all of the social posts, I'm just saying the same things. I said, Jordan, here's the deal. We have to say the same things over and over because of two reasons. One, folks need to hear it, because what we're talking about here with the mule and the donkey, it's completely different than what they've heard everywhere else. And so it's going to take several times for them to hear it and then actually understand it. And then the second reason why we keep saying the same things over and over and over is because you're going to hear it one way one time, and it's kind of going to make sense. But then you hear it said a different way another time, and it's like, it's almost like the mule, the right brain, left brain. And you hear both sides, the right brain, the left brain get it, and you understand. And so it is one of those deals where we just keep saying it because folks don't necessarily get it. Now, Yolanda's gotten it. We've got, David Pingales who's gotten it. We got David Scholl who's gotten it. We've got our friends who are getting it, Tracy Foley. But there's a lot of people who don't,
Yeah. I don't mind doing it, over and over again. I can tell you that there's usually 10 basic questions, and one of these days we'll go over those 10.
Yes.
It's the same thing, but we're getting so many new mule and donkey people, And we did. I had a lady call me today, and of course I get this all the time. I had she emailed me and she said, do you have a return policy for your saddles? And I text her back and I said, look, I don't type very good. Call me and let me explain it to you. And here's the thing, Dave. These saddles and my tack and stuff is what I learned from the mule. And so she listened to several other people on some of the other media and this sort of thing. And she said, it's amazing, Steve. You had people that said, I've got 6 mules, and Steve's saddle fits all 6 of them. And then we have a couple people that say, you know, I just couldn't get it to fit my mule. And you know what I said to her, Dave? I said, why didn't they call me? You know, I've got a video. I'm here. I will help you. Why, instead of complaining or saying, oh my, why not call me? Let me help you. Because the people who have the little bitty problems, I can fix easy, quick, zip, you know. And so I said to her, I said, how many people do you know that sells a saddle that sends a video with it? Right. It's important, you know. And she says, you know what the neat thing about this, Steve? You're the only one that's called me and talked to me. Yeah. You know? And you talk to me, and I don't, you know, I'll say that over and over again 1,000 times. Yeah. I'm not here to sell saddles. I'm here to help your mule. People say, well, when you go to Steve's clinics, you know, first thing he talks about is bits and saddles. Well, wait a minute. If your mule is not comfortable, why in the world are you sitting on him? Your mule's unhappy, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, oh, well. Absolutely. Shauna Gomez chimed in, and I don't know. Now, this might be the first time I've seen Shauna chime in. Shauna, if this is your first time, I would love to know, because you may have chimed in, but I'm trying to remember. So Shauna's here. Hello, Shauna. Bruce Lawless, who's been on several of our streams, is here. Hi, Bruce. It's good to have you.
Gotcha.
Let's see here. We've got, so Ruben chimed in a little bit earlier. Let's see. David Pingali's got a question. So, David, we got a question from you. He says, Steve, do you use a leathers curb strap with the twisted snaffle bit? So, first, I don't know what a leathers curb strap is. Can you explain that? And then answer the question, do you use it with a twisted snaffle bit?
Okay, a curb strap goes on a finish bit, and it can be leather. It can be nylon string. It can be a single chain. It can be a double chain. And it goes on the bottom of the chin on the bit. It does not go on a snaffle bit. The purpose of it is to touch the nerves on the bottom of the jaw to add a third dimension. Hear that? A third dimension when you pick up a shank bit. So it touches, it rolls on the pallet, the bit rolls on the pallet, and then on the bars, and then hits the nerves here. And that's a curb chain, you know, or a curb strap. Now, on a snaffle bit, it's not important to have a curb strap. People put the curb strap on to keep from pulling the bit through the mouth. And my question is, why are you pulling so hard? You don't need to pull that hard. All you got to do is turn your hand. And that's plenty. We've got videos on YouTube showing how we help these mules and people through. But anyway, no, you don't need a strap on there. Dave, the mule's going to reach down. You're going to have the bit hanging down, bumping the incisors on a Molly mule. On a John mule, it's going to bump the canine, okay? And so it's going to hang down. It's going to bump on their teeth. They're going to be uncomfortable. They're going to reach down, pick up the bit, and they're going to carry it. The big problem with folks when it comes down to the bit is they move their hands too much. You don't need it. Here, here, you know. So no, Dave, you don't need it on my Mule Riders Martingale. And by the way, congratulations, Dave. Dave got him a new mule.
Yeah, we were just talking about that before we went live.
Yeah, he's been beating himself to death, and he hid this one on me. He's been sending me pictures and stuff saying, hey, Steve, what do you think? What do you think? I've been saying, no. Finally, he sends me an order today to buy a halter. I thought, a new halter. He's already got the saddles and stuff for his other runaway mules. And then all of a sudden, I got a picture on my phone that says, hey, Steve, look at my new mule. Yeah, all right. But he wants to start. He's got a 3-year-old. He only spent $900 for it, that tightwad. Anyway, so he wants to start it from the ground up. The mule's got a good disposition. Yep. Yay, Dave. By disposition, okay? So he's got a good disposition. He's easy to get on with. And guess the biggest reason he bought this mule?
Give it to me.
It's a coffee color.
I love it.
Oh, yeah, coffee salesman. And I looked at that thing and I said, no, that's the color of coffee right there. Dark, like your zombie coffee. And he's got a light one. So I said, I think he's a weakling, you know.
That's fantastic. Well,
congratulations, Dave.
I'll put we put together a bundle that has a rope halter, that has the come along rope, and then has the problem mule building a new foundation video, and that's one of the areas when folks get their first mule, or when they get that mule that needs that ground foundation. That's really where we've directed them over and over and over. I think we actually put that bundle together as a result of these live stream calls, because so many folks were having problems. That really comes back down to ground foundation training.
Yeah.
And so I'll put a link in the comments section. This is what David's going to be using, and this is what, you know, any mule that you whether you're starting it for the first time or whether it has been a problem mule and you need to build that correct foundation. If it's got that disposition, this is the direction that you want to go. I'll put that in the comments.
Actually, here's the other thing too. Dave said, send me that Mule Riders martingale so I can ride this weekend. Dave, I don't want you riding. Look, folks, you get that new mule home, do work on the ground. Get used to the mule. Show the mule your herd leadership. Don't just climb on that mule and ride off. That mule is used to that other corral. That mule is used to those other people. Get home, spend time with this mule on the ground. Then, as you build up the confidence in the mule gets used to its surroundings, and you start building confidence, go ride. Don't eat the cake until the icing is there, folks. It's important. You get that new mule home, get to know that new mule. Get to know it on the ground. Yeah. You are a mountain lion in the saddle. So don't do that. Build a foundation of trust. Do the groundwork with the come-along rope. Go into the rope halter. You're going to have an awesome mule. You don't have to call me from the ER saying, oh, my.
Yeah. We've got Suze Kuiper from Amsterdam, Netherlands, saying hello. How awesome is that?
Amsterdam, yes. How about that?
Isn't that awesome?
I wonder if she knows Yolanda.
That was my first thought.
Yeah.
We've got Carol Green, who says, I've gone up to Eric many times and love it. I have bought my mule Jasper from him.
Yeah. Now, you know what? That Eric has a love for the mules. You know, he really tries hard. It really breaks his heart to hear some of the stories that he's heard. But Eric so far has been honest with people. That's why I don't mind saying, hey, folks, go see Eric. You're in Arizona.
Yeah.
I've got some apprentices around the United States that I can send other people to, but you know, I so far I think Eric has been very trustworthy.
That's awesome. Tracy Foley, we were talking about the expo up in Massachusetts. She said she might be able to get there. Wouldn't that be neat?
Hey Tracy, throw an email toward Equine Affair. Yes. You want to see me up there? That's one of the reasons. Of course, Equine Affair. I've been doing work for them for 12, 14 years, quite a long time, Dave. But Massachusetts is hard to get into because there are a lot of English riding up there, and mules are just starting to get popular. So I've got quite a few clients in that New York, Massachusetts country, and but here's something that's going to be different for me, Dave. When I go to Equine Affair and some of these others, I'm not going to take saddles and tack and this sort of thing. I'm going to have some videos. I may have a few bits, but I'm not going to pack a bunch of stuff there. I'm going to show trees, and I'm going to talk about the importance of that, but I'm not going to haul saddles and stuff anymore. I just think it's going to be better that I spend more time with people, talking with them and stuff, you know.
Yeah,
so
absolutely. No, I agree too. I've been at conferences and when you feel like you're trapped at your booth, of course it's nice to have it there, and you don't want to make it sound like it's some sort of a ball and chain. But when you're at your booth and you're not able to get out there and give the individual attention that folks want, you feel like folks are appreciative, but you feel like you're selling them short a little bit. You're not able to give the attention that you want. So I think that's going to be fantastic. Let's see here. Richard Matthews, you're going to dig this, Steve. He says, "Hi, Chaplain Steve."
Yeah. Hey, Richard is one of the firefighters that I train with, and I'm a firefighter myself. It's kind of unique. Last night we went up to the mines up in Superior, and I was so proud of my guys from Queen Valley. We bunked out. This is heavy, hot helmets and everything else, and you should have seen Richard shine. They had no idea what we set up a whole deal of a guy was supposed to fall into a lime pit, and it was all set up with a helicopter come in, police there. We had the whole round there, and he had never driven. They only had 2 guys in Superior. We brought up, I think it was about 12, 14 guys up from Queen Valley. Now, these guys are volunteer. They took their time out, took their away from their families and this sort of thing, went up there. We didn't get done till about 11 o'clock at night. But we went up there and trained with the mines. We wore those, steel-toe boots, helmet, full packed out, and it's heavy. And I tell you what, Richard shined. He took their fire engine. He set up everything, and he's a paramedic as well. I'm proud of that guy. He's awesome. And his wife, if it wasn't for his wife, he would not have a life. You hear that, Richard?
Elaine Little says, watching from Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia. Elaine, we're happy to have you hanging out with us a little bit here. Sandy Bailey says, "Hi, Steve. Glad to see you're still helping folks with their mules. Old Spot recently left me for the Rainbow Bridge. See you in Bishop."
All right. Looking forward to it. All right, Sandy. Yes. Old Spot. What? That's another whole story. We'll have to, maybe we'll find Sandy. Her and I will talk, and that brings back a bunch of memories. Old Spot. Boy, what a dandy. Leopard Appaloosa went to the Rainbow Bridge. Well, how about that? Well, we're going to see a bunch of people at Bishop, and we're going to do a bunch of video, and it's going to be fun.
That'll be great. Suze Kuiper says, "Steve, I love your saying, quote, my favorite color is broke."
Good for you, Sue. Yes.
That's a good one right there.
Oh, yeah. Yes, sir.
Let's see. Yolanda says, yes, Suze knows me and I know Suze. So Yolanda and Suze know each other out there in the Netherlands.
All right. It's about 1:30 in the morning there, I think it is.
Yeah, it is early. Yolanda captured this perfectly. She goes, "Tonight is not donkey mule talk, but people talk." I love it. Isn't that true?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's really what it's turned out to be, is people talk. For folks who are just joining us, we started off the broadcast, 40 minutes ago. It just goes by like that. 40 minutes ago, we started off the broadcast just talking about how Steve is going to be at Bishop Mule Days coming up here in the next week or so. What's the actual date? I'm trying to remember the date here. 5 days away.
Yeah, we're actually leaving on the 21st.
Yeah.
That's a Tuesday. We're going to arrive there Wednesday afternoon at Bobby Tanner's. Thursday morning, I'm having breakfast with a bunch of my students from Pierce College.
Yeah.
That's going to be fun. And some other people that I don't know, but my friends Mike and Julie Burnett are setting it up, and it's going to be fun. But I'm going to be there to meet and greet, talk to people. I'm not doing anything particular other than Cowboy Church, so looking forward to it. Did you see the dates there? I think it starts like on the 20th.
Yeah, it says, I'm looking at the schedule right now. It starts Tuesday the 22nd, 8 a.m. with hunter jumper classes, and then it goes all the way through Sunday the 27th. The last thing on the agenda is Jody Collins, The Joy of a Well-Reined Long Ear at 10:30 a.m. in the Mule Days Round Corral. So it goes from early in the morning on Tuesday to midday on Sunday.
Absolutely. You don't want to miss Jody Collins. That gal can train mules and donkeys. She does a great job. I used to pack against her husband there at Bishop, and he was also a judge and this sort of thing. But Jody's an awesome trainer. You need to be there. there and watch it. And there's some other trainers there too. I can't think of
Well,
their
how about
name.
this? Eric is going to be doing a donkey packing clinic at 3 p.m. on Friday.
That's right. That's right. Eric is from Mountain Gear. He's doing really good with them donkeys. He's going to be packing and showing people how to do that with his donkeys. You bet. Good for Eric.
Yeah, that's awesome. Eric's a good guy, and I know that you really believe and think highly of his packing equipment. That's great.
Awesome.
So for folks who are joining, Steve's going to be at Mule Days, and then May 30th through June 14th, Steve is going to be traveling. He's going to be in Hawaii, and that's going to be a lot of fun. You can go back, watch the beginning of the broadcast if you're just tuning in, and hear all about that. But what we're going to be doing is, because orders on the website, which y'all have been fantastic about just asking questions. Steve's been anxious to get everyone paired up with the right stuff that they need. But the orders on the website from the 30th through the 14th, obviously with Steve out of town, it's him and Susan sending everything out each day as the orders come in. So what Steve's going to be doing is, for orders coming in on the May 30th through June 14th, lower 48 U.S. states, it's going to be free shipping, and Steve's going to throw in a couple business cards, which if you don't know why I'm doing that, is because it's a business card that can flip out, has a sharp edge, and can take care of you in a bind. So
Gotcha.
I'm trying to tell them it's a knife. It's an awesome knife business card with Queen Valley Mule Ranch logo right there on the blade. And so shipping's going to be free for anything ordered the 30th through June 14th, lower 48. If you are international, give Steve a call. And then if you are Hawaii or Alaska, Steve and I are going to be talking. We're going to try to figure out what we can do there. But lower 48, free shipping. So make sure that you just take note of that. If you've got something that you want to get either for now or Christmas or the fall, whatever you have coming up, that's going to be a great opportunity, because we really don't do sales and we really don't do deals on shipping just because we've got everything at the right price. But this is one of those deals where we're going to celebrate Steve and Susan's 50th wedding anniversary. We're going to bring everybody in on the celebration and do that free shipping. Let's see here. Yolanda says it's $135, so I guess it's $140 right now. Jackie Gregg Eden says, my bucket list has Bishop Mule Days on it. It's a good item.
Jackie Eden, good for her. I'd be looking for. Hopefully, I can see her bucket list someday. Then, right?
Yep, that's right. Vicky Wooten, Steve. This past weekend, Aaron Lynn took my mini donkey and 2 BLM donkeys who had trailer loading issues. Eric Lynn had your come along ropes. He put on the donkeys, and they were loading in no time. It is amazing what those come along ropes do, Steve. I'll let you talk. But I have to tell people, because I know that you won't necessarily say it yourself, that come-along rope is transformational. We were out in Buckeye, Arizona about 3 years ago with Catherine Sarah, and she had trailer loading issues with her mules. She said that it was taking nearly a dozen men getting her mule to load up, and she was afraid that it was going to break the mule's back. 30 minutes, that mule was loading up. You had that mule loading up. That come-along rope is amazing.
Yeah, and I've got to give credit where credit's due. I learned from Nick West from Sundre, Alberta, Canada, and that man, he's passed away now, and wonderful. This man is a rancher. He rode in he rode ranching, all his life. He's just an incredible horseman. And a hackamore man, but he taught me how to use that come-along rope. And Eric is now he's going to start selling those come-along ropes to his donkey people, by the way. But Eric now is another person that has come down from learning from Nick, learning from me, and now it's passing it on. And that's what's got to be, folks. I mean, once those guys are gone and once I'm gone, those old cowboy tricks like this right here, they change, they're transforming, and within minutes. Folks, if it works on the mule correctly, if it works on the donkey correctly, within minutes you'll see things done.
Yeah.
Not just tomorrow or the by and by, not because they're stubborn or it's a donkey or mule. You'll see it transform them within minutes. And that come along hitch what I learned from Nick West, spending time. We drove up to Alberta. We spent time with them. And when they would come down here during the winter, I spent time with Nick. But he's now looking down, smiling, saying, wow, look at all these mule and donkey folks that are learning how to get it done.
Do you have any stories that stick out as we're talking about Nick? Anything that you think folks would enjoy hearing? I mean, there are probably too many to count. You have any that kind of come to the top?
Well, this is kind of fun. When I went up to Alberta, I wanted to learn how to start colts, how to braid rawhide, and work with some pretty tough colts. And he said, Steve, you don't want to come up here. He said, these horses will buck you off. So I started riding anything that I could ride, anything that was tough, and this sort of thing. So I go up to Alberta. We got a little motorhome. I take my wife and my 2 kids, and I'm sitting there in the kitchen. I'm reading my Bible, having a cup of coffee. Nick comes up to me and he says, Steve, let's go play some pool. And I said, nah, Nick, I come up here to braid rawhide and to start colts. And he said, you don't want to do that. Let's go play some pool. Because in his basement, he had a beautiful pool table, but what he had braided rawhide all around the walls, ropes, hackamores, hobos. I mean, beautiful stuff, that it was artwork, and he didn't think nothing of it. But he took hides from his own cattle and he stretched them out on trees, and he cut out every string, and he had a 2x6 piece of wood with nails bent over, and he set his pocket knife in one spot, and that pocket knife was sharp as a razor, and he cut out every single string from that whole hide of a cow, And so I said, no, Nick, I come here to braid rawhide and to ride colts. I didn't want to do that. I said, no, I'm going to sit right here, read my Bible, and have a cup of coffee. Next thing I know, Nick comes back. He sits down in front of me, and I got my Bible up like this. I'm trying to put him on a door. Down in front of me, and he's got a stick that he just whittled out, and he had some braided rawhide string. He says, this is how you do the Turk's head knot. So I put my Bible down, and I sit down in front of him, and I watched him tie that knot. Hey, you know what we need to do? We need to have a session. I'll have some of Nick's rawhide. I've got a rope that he made. I got his last quirk, his last hackamore. When he passed away, every time he would go back to Alberta, he'd say, Steve, what can I bring you back from Alberta? And I'd say, Nick, I'd like to have another noseband, hackamore. You don't want another one of them? Yeah, I do. That's what I do. Anyway, his last hackamore and his last quirk, Louise, when she come back down here to sell everything out here in Arizona, she gave me those 2, and they're hanging on my wall in the office. And I tell you, they're artwork, but that old man, he knew what it was like. He never put a bit in any horse's mouth. Never. Didn't believe in it. He used hackamores only. And I've got a few of my students I've been able to show how to use a hackamore, and they're a wonderful tool, but they can sure mess up an animal if it's not done right.
Yeah. We've got this is pretty cool. So Sandy Bailey chimes in. Thanks for sharing that, by the way. Sandy Bailey chimes in. She heard you talking about Pierce College, and she says, Pierce College? Meeting with you when? Old Spot and I attended Steve's first class at Pierce. Loved the time we had, and oh boy, did I learn a lot.
Hey, Sandy, we are going to have breakfast, I understand, there in Bishop with a bunch of the students. And Julie Sterling, as you knew her back then, she's the one putting this together. So if you're coming to Bishop, get a hold of Julie Sterling Burnett, and maybe you can set it up where you can have breakfast with us Thursday morning there at Bishop. Now, she's setting it up. And as far as I know, she tried to contact all of my students from Pierce College, and then some other people that we had been around for some of my clinics and stuff. And we're going to have a get together. And then there at Bishop, we're going to also, try to spend some time together as well. So hey, Sandy, please get a hold of us. We'd love to see you.
That'd be great. Carol's got a great question. I don't know the answer to this, and I don't know that I've ever heard you talk about this, and it's just about community. She says, are there any mule riding groups here in Arizona? Do you know of any mule riding groups?
You know, there used to be the Arizona Mule and Arizona Mule Club, and I can't think of their names right now that had put it together, but I really don't know that there's a mule club here in Arizona. There are a lot of people riding. Josephine Earp, if she's still listening, she knows about several riders on the west side. And of course, Eric he rides all the time. He's got my own personal saddle. I had a brand new saddle made all the way I wanted it, tricked out really nice, and then my hip went bad, and I did a clinic for Eric, and he says, boy, I sure like that saddle. I was showing it. I mean, it's a showpiece. And I said, you know what, Eric, I'm not going to be able to ride this saddle at that time. That's what I was thinking. So he bought my saddle, long story short. But anyway, Eric would be someone that would know. I don't know what part of Arizona she lives in.
Well, she just wrote, she goes, start one, please. I go to Eric. Vicky says she would join.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, well, you know, it probably wouldn't be a bad idea to get something kind of started in Arizona. One thing I've always often thought about doing is kind of having like a mule and donkey club where like this here, you know, they can chime in and I can help them out, or they can call me up. Of course, everybody does that now, but maybe a mule and donkey club where we can meet once a month and go on a ride or do a clinic somewhere. I'd love to take a bunch of the mule and donkey people from right here in Arizona and take them to my program. And, hey, Carlos!
Here, come say hi real quick. You have to say hi now.
You better do it.
Try to be sneaky.
Yeah, you ain't going to be sneaky.
So this right here, Steve knows Carlos. I know Carlos. So like I said a little bit earlier, Carlos and I work together, and a lot of the stuff that you guys see happening on Facebook and the website and with the store and whatnot, this is the man right here.
Yes.
Christian brother as well.
Absolutely.
Father. He's got great kids. He's a great friend of mine, and he's become a great friend of Steve's too. So.
Yep. Carlos, thank you. Appreciate you, buddy. You do awesome work. Lyle can deal.
Well, that'd be fun. You know, one thing that we've talked a little bit about doing too is starting a Queen Valley Mule Ranch Facebook group, and maybe that's something that we'll have to examine again and see if there's a palette for it, see if people are interested. Carol says she's in the West Valley. So that might be something that we'd have to think about doing. Ray Lockhart's here, and Ray, I saw you chime in a little bit earlier. I apologize for not saying hi sooner.
Yeah. Ray sent me a picture of his mule with a turkey on the side of it. And he sent me an email, said, one of these days I'm going to have your saddle with a turkey on it. He just bought a saddle. And so he says, man, next turkey hunt, Steve, I'm going to put this turkey on your saddle. That's an awesome deal. I've seen mountain lions, I've seen bears, elk, deer, but I've never seen a turkey on the side of a saddle. That was cool to see.
First time. He says, I know winter is a long way off, but are there any tips for riding in the snow to keep the snow from building up on their feet? Ooh, yeah, that's a good question.
Well, my favorite way is to keep the feet unshod and barefooted. They do better. But if you have to have shoes and you have to put borium on them and this sort of thing, you put a pad on the bottom of the shoe, and then that pad, it's a urethane pad, and that it helps from balling up. But the heat from the leg and the cold from the snow, it creates that ball, and it's difficult, really difficult. But the main thing is, the flatter the foot, the less of the balling up. So, like when we were when I was at the Grand Canyon packing down, we used borium on our shoes, but we still had a lot of balling up. We were flipping, we call them softballs, all up and down the trail. You could see them, but part of life when it comes down to that. Yeah. But that's what I would do.
Yeah. Let's see. Marty Foshi just chimes in, says hello.
Hey.
Yolanda may have gone off to bed. She says, be blessed. So if you left us for the evening, Yolanda, thanks for chiming in and being such an encouragement. Oh, she's still here. She gives the thumbs up. She has been, Yolanda, you have been such an encouragement to both of us on these live streams. We never know how these things are going to turn out. We know that we'll probably get some viewers, but every single week you've been with us, and I know that it's early there where you're at. So I just want to say, not only thank you to you, but to everyone who's watched. Steve, I know that that's meant a lot to you, folks spending time coming. And I mean, we're not dying. We're just taking a break for the summer. But I know that it's meant a lot to you to have so many friends and new friends come and hang out with us each week, right?
Absolutely. Then it's fun to be able to help people. Like this is great. I've done it by traveling. I've traveled all over the United States, and we put. It would be really easy in 3 months' time. To give you an idea, my trailer, my 40-foot toy hauler, it's a 2007. I've got over 150,000 miles on that trailer, and 3 Dodge trucks, by the way.
Right.
Yeah, but traveling around, seeing people, trying to help them out, show them a different way. I hope they see that there's a difference between horse training and mule training. There's a major difference. And then the donkey people that are coming out there, now the donkey people are they're coming almost nose to tail with the mule people now. It's pretty incredible.
Yeah. So, folks, this is going to be the end of season 1 of Ask Steve. It's been a thrill to be with you these first several months of 2018, and it's not goodbye. It's just a break as Steve gets ready to travel, as Steve celebrates his 30th anniversary. If this is the first, if you're just hanging out with us, the first time hanging out with us, we've got all of our past streams available on YouTube. Go check those out. Enjoy those. They're absolutely free. They're filled with just a lot of shooting the breeze, answering really great questions that you folks have submitted over these last several months. And then just to remind folks that from May 30th through June 14th of this year, Steve is going to be in Hawaii. Steve is going to be celebrating his 50th wedding anniversary with Susan. And as a celebration, celebrating, bringing everyone in, we're going to do free shipping to the lower 48 states for anything purchased through May 30th through June 14th. Of course, Steve's going to be out of the office, off of the ranch. So everything is going to be shipped that next week of June 16th. So if you need it before the 30th, get your orders put in. Yeah. If you can wait until after probably the 20th, 21st, if you can wait until after the 21st, 22nd to receive it, go ahead and put your order in there between the 30th and the 14th. But if you need anything on the store before the 30th of May, make sure you get your order in ASAP. But as a thank you, as a celebration, is free shipping to the lower 48 states, here, any orders placed between May 30th and June 14th, they'll go out that following week when Steve returns. Let's see. Yolanda says, no, is this the last online live feed? For now. It's not the last one. It's the last one for now. We'll see how things come together, and we'll see what we can do awesome for Season 2, start back up in the fall. Suze says, Steve, do you have any plans for traveling to Europe? I don't think you have anything scheduled right now, but you're open to it, right?
Yes, I have actually in Great Britain, awesome. The Mule and Donkey Society there. We're in talks right now. I have a very good friend in Australia, in Queensland, Australia, and we're looking at time frames right now. We've been missing each other on the phone. He has a small station. It's a ranch. It's only 790 square miles. Small place, yeah.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. So we're going to go to New Zealand, and the Mule and Donkey people there, they got a show there, and I've got some clients there. We're going to go to New Zealand first and then over to Australia, but we haven't put that one together yet, but it's up and coming. And then we're going to be in Kodiak Island, Alaska, at a Baptist kids camp. We're going to be working with kids. We're going to be working with mules and donkeys. Did you hear that? Mules and donkeys, but also horses. Yeah.
You'll lower your standards just for a little bit.
Yeah, just for a little while. I'm gonna take some cardboard ears and put them on there and help them out a little bit so that I feel at home, because you don't have them beautiful ears sticking up there anyway. So we're going to be doing that. It's exciting to hear people wanting to learn more. So, and also, other places. I don't mind. I will go anywhere. So if I've got several clients that want to set up clinics in different places, we can do it. Susan and I are not traveling as much with our vehicle, but we are flying out to a lot of places. So, we're going to rock and roll. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Awesome.
50th anniversary, man.
Yep. Well, it feels only appropriate to end our Ask Steve live stream of Season 1 with a question. And this question is from Sherry Ruperto Plasic. I hope I'm saying that correctly. She says, hello from Georgia. I'm having an issue with my 6-year-old John Mule getting increasingly feisty with my female money donkey. They have lived together since November. My neighbor said he had her by the neck today and pinned on the ground. He is very friendly with people and other horses. I will have to separate, but very difficult at the moment, for I only have one pasture due to working on a second. Do you think it is something that will ease or probably get worse? What do you say there?
It will get worse, unfortunately. At Pierce College, we turned, just so that my students could see it, I turned some mini donkeys loose in with a bunch of mules and some other things. Those mules literally mothered up to those donkeys and actually they tried to separate them from the others, and actually ended up kind of hurting a couple of the donkeys. Nothing bad, but folks, I can't tell you enough. There is a pecking order with donkeys and mules and this sort of thing. You must keep them separate. You're thinking, oh, okay, they're doing just fine. No, all of a sudden, and it wasn't all of a sudden either, as she has found out, it's going to come. And what's going to happen is this mule is trying to be dominant over that donkey, and that donkey has been refusing, and you have the ask, tell, demand situation, and now this mule's got a hold of this donkey and is hurting, And look, folks, it's not that the mule is being vicious. This is part of the pecking order. It's what they do. And the donkey has been refusing to do what the mule wanted. Now the mule is trying to hurt him. And folks, don't put your calves in with these mules and donkeys. Your mini donkeys are not quite so bad, and you can have some pretty good guard donkeys. But here's a perfect example. They've been living together, and then boom, it's going to happen, folks. Keep your mules and donkeys separate. Separate them. Separate them from your horses as well. You come to my ranch, each mule and donkey has its own stall. It's for their benefit, not only for feed. They don't need to be out there in a pasture. They don't need to be out there, Separate them. Keep them in a small stall. Have them each have their own nutrition is what they need. That's what they need.
Well, there we go. Folks, that is the last question of Ask Steve, Season 1. I just put a link in the comment section. If you want to know when Season 2 is going to launch, we'll do it sometime this fall. It may look a little bit different, but if you want to know what's happening and when we start Ask Steve again, go ahead and click that link in the comment section. It's a muleranch.lpages.co/livestream sign up. So it's kind of a long one. Just click on it. Sign up, and as soon as details for Season 2 are available, we will make sure to send you a notification. Thank you, everybody, for not only being here today, but being with us on these past, 13, 14, 15 different live streams. It's been a lot of fun, Steve. I've enjoyed spending this time with you, and I look forward to what we wind up doing this summer and then what we wind up doing in the fall.
Yep, we're going to have some surprises from Bishop. We're going to have some surprises from Hawaii, so just, it's going to happen. And don't forget, folks, anything that you buy from me, I'm going to send you one of my cards, and it's sharp.
It is a card that will get straight to the point. So, all right, thank you, everybody. Happy trails, and we will talk to you soon. Make sure that you're following us on Facebook, and I am going to put a link. I think it might already be there, but I'm going to put a link in the comment section to the YouTube page. subscribe to the YouTube page. If you like these videos, subscribe to the YouTube page. If you like mule and donkey training videos, subscribe to the YouTube page. If you want to get as much enjoyment out of your animal as you can, subscribe to the YouTube page. We're going to be doing some pretty cool things. Happy trails. We'll see y'all. Bye-bye.
Happy trails. Bye-bye.